And in Iowa, we've got testimony resuming in the Machete murder plot case of defendant Dakota Van Patten. We're waiting to go into the courtroom live because of some restrictions. While we wait, we're getting caught up on key testimony. Next up, an investigator talking about victim Melody Hoffman's phone.
And to make sure that I'm understanding what you're saying, at some point, Melody Hoffman's phone was manually connected to the Nord network?
Yes.
And at least once the password was entered?
Yes.
And then the option to automatically connect going forward was turned on?
Correct.
Now, you said that password 1132 DLVP, correct?
Correct.
Can you remind us, Investigator Pulson, what Dakota Van Patten's middle name is?
Lyle.
So the initials DLVP would be consistent with Dakota Lyle Van Patten?
Yes.
Your Honor, if you'll clear my screen for just a moment, please. Investigator, on February 19th, did yourself and Investigator Peterson interview Dakota Van Patten at the Marion Police Department?
Yes.
And prior to that interview, was Dakota Van Patten's phone seized?
It was.
Can you tell us what type of phone he owned at that time?
A OnePlus Nord and 200.
So the same as what's shown in that Wi-Fi name?
Correct.
During the interview with Dakota Van Patten, did you ask him what the password was for his hotspot?
Yes.
And did he provide that with you?
He did.
Can you tell us what password he gave you?
1132 DLVP.
And so just to confirm, was that the same password that you found inside of Melody Hoffman's phone?
It was.
And when he provided you with that password, was he or was he not in possession of his phone?
He was not in possession of his phone.
So that was a password he knew by memory?
Correct.
He didn't have to go into his phone to look it up and find out what it was?
Correct.
Did he also confirm the name of his Wi-Fi or his hotspot network?
Yes.
And what did he confirm that to be?
OnePlus Nord.
N200 5G?
Yes.
He gave you the whole thing?
I don't recall it was the whole thing. I know for sure he said it was OnePlus Nord.
So based on the information that you received in what we saw in Exhibit 16.1, 16.2, and 16.3, can you dumb down for us what all that information means to this investigation?
It shows that her phone was manually connected to a hotspot with the name of OnePlus Nord and 200 5G, and that it was set up to again auto-join that hotspot, and later did auto-join that hotspot.
So the hotspot would have been on Dakota Van Patten's phone?
Correct.
And Melody Hoffman's phone connected to Dakota Van Patten's hotspot?
Correct.
And the first time that it connected, if I'm reading Exhibit 16.3 correctly, was at 1:01 in the morning on February 18th of 2024.
Correct.
And then the toggle was hit to auto connect, right, on Melody's phone?
Yes.
And so from 16.3, am I reading it correctly that the last time Melody Hoffman's phone auto connected to Dakota Van Patten's hotspot was at 2:52 a.m. on February 18th of 2024?
Correct.
Now, Investigator Pulson, did you also, during this investigation, become involved in collecting surveillance video from a Quick Start?
I did.
And can you recall recall what the address of that Quick Star was?
1001 Blair's Ferry Road in Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Your Honor, I'd like to republish the map, Exhibit 1.1, and that is up and ready for you when you are. Using the laser pointer, can you, Investigator Pulson, show us on this map where the Quick Star was that you were able to obtain surveillance video from? And that is on Blair's Ferry Road?
Correct.
Can you, if you'll clear my screen, please, Judge. Investigator Pulson, can you tell us what led you to be looking for surveillance video or evidence of the defendant and Louisma at that location?
During the interview with Louisma, he mentioned that they went to a Quick Star and that it was near a Burger King. The Quick Star on Blair's Ferry is near a Burger King, and it was near where they were seen on traffic camera footage.
Was there a specific time range that you were looking for during your inquiry and trying to find this surveillance video?
I requested from 3 a.m. to 4 a.m.
And would that have been February 18th, 2024?
Correct.
So just mere moments or minutes after that last auto connect on that hotspot?
Yes.
When you contacted the people at Quick Star, what other information did you provide to them to use in assistance with trying to find some of this footage?
I provided them that I was looking for a blue Honda Accord, provided a photo of the blue Honda Accord from the Cedar Rapids traffic cameras. I told them I was looking for a skinnier white male and a heavier set black male.
And were you successful in obtaining footage from that company?
I was.
Did the people from over at Quick Star, did they also send you, prior to surveillance video, send you some still shots that they had taken off of their system?
They did.
And in the photos that you got, did those photos come from multiple camera angles within the store and the outside parking lot area?
Yes.
Was there any particular chronology to the order in which those photos were sent or time-stamped?
No.
So the order in which you received them is not suggesting that's the order that they proceeded through the store?
Correct.
After you got the still shots, did you also then receive actual surveillance video footage?
Yes.
And generally, can you tell us what the surveillance video footage showed you?
It shows the blue Honda Accord coming into the parking lot, and it contains two subjects in the vehicle. Two subjects getting out of the vehicle were Dakota Van Patten and McKinley Louisma. They enter Quick Star, make a purchase, use the restroom, and then leave.
Now, you mentioned that they made a purchase inside the store. Were you able to determine during your investigation what it was that Louisma and Van Patten purchased inside of this Quick Star?
They purchased cigarettes and cigars.
Do you have specific recollection of what type of cigars were purchased?
I believe they purchased Citrus Sweets.
Okay. I'll show you an exhibit later that will contradict that. Did you also get some sort of a printout or at least a screenshot of a printout that did show the transaction that was made?
I did.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, I would like to publish exhibits 15.2 through 15.17 in no particular order.
Publishing now.
In 15.2, can you tell us just generally what we're seeing in this photograph?
The vehicle in the background is the previously mentioned blue Honda Accord entering the parking lot.
Can you tell us the date on this image?
It is February 18th, 2024 at 3:17 a.m.
3:17 a.m.?
Correct.
And can you use the laser pointer and point out for us specifically what we should be focused on in this exhibit? And that you believe to be the blue Honda Accord driven by Louisma?
Correct.
What are we seeing in 15.3?
It is a zoomed-in photograph of that video that is depicting two occupants of the vehicle.
And can you attempt using the laser pointer to show us where and how you're making a determination that there's two occupants in this vehicle?
The head of the driver here and the head of the front seat passenger here.
And are you familiar with both McKinley Louisma and Dakota Van Patten, at least to their appearance?
Yes.
From this angle, were you able to tell who the driver was?
McKinley Louisma.
And so the passenger then would be Dakota Van Patten?
Correct.
And is Dakota Van Patten the front seat passenger?
Yes.
Can you tell us the date and time stamp on this photo?
It is February 18th, 2024 at 3:17 a.m.
What about 15.4? What are we seeing in this photo?
We are seeing them entering the store.
And specifically the silhouette of a man in front of the right door, is that McKinley Louisma?
It is.
And what about 15.5?
You see McKinley Louisma and Dakota Van Patten with McKinley in front entering the store.
.6, what are we seeing here?
You're seeing Dakota Van Patten entering behind McKinley Louisma.
And just to be clear, the person whose hand is on the outside of the door still, is that Dakota Van Patten?
It is.
What does he appear to be wearing?
He's wearing a sweatshirt jacket and a black stocking cap.
15.7, what are we seeing here?
You're seeing McKinley Louisma.
I want to talk about his shirt a little bit. Can you tell us or describe for us what color the overall shirt is?
It is black.
And does there appear to be a rather large, bright logo in the middle of his chest area?
There is.
What does that logo say?
Techno Blade never dies.
Would you agree that that logo is pretty bright against the black sweatshirt?
It is.
.8, tell us what we see in this photo.
You are seeing the rear of the blue Honda Accord parked at the building.
And the blue Honda Accord, is that the blue Honda Accord that Louisma and Van Patten got out of when they parked?
It is.
.9, tell us what we see in this photograph.
McKinley Louisma and Dakota Van Patten at the counter speaking to the clerk and making a purchase.
And 15.10?
McKinley Louisma and Dakota Van Patten at the counter making their purchase.
Oh, and there you can see their faces plain as day. Let's talk about this plot to kill Melody Hoffman. And let's talk about whether this defendant was part of it. Let's bring in former law enforcement officer Claudia Kane now. Claudia, good morning to you. Give us your assessment, please, of these two individuals and their behavior.
Good morning, Julie. Well, their behavior is absolutely unconscionable, in my opinion, and I think that there is plenty of evidence to show that this defendant was, in fact, involved not only in the planning, but in carrying out the murder of this young lady. I think there's going to be a ton of digital evidence that's going to continue to show, and I don't know why this.
Oh, and Claudia, we just lost your signal, so we're going to work to repair that. But as we look at this image, I have to tell you what's going through my mind. And I see this time and time again, not just in this case, but in many cases, how people think they can outsmart investigators and think they'll never be caught. And we know one of these individuals was already convicted by a jury, Mr. Louisma. Mr. Van Patten's before the jury right now. Both of their faces plain as day in this surveillance footage. I mean, it's remarkable to me how I see criminals time and time again. I saw it when I was a prosecutor. I see it every day in my job here at Court TV, how they think they're smarter than law enforcement officers. They think they'll never get caught. Claudia, we got you back. I'm happy to tell our audience. So we lost you there. If you'll just kind of pick back up and tell us a little bit more about some of the things that amaze you about these two individuals and their, as you put it so well, unconscionable behavior as the evidence is showing.
Absolutely. I think the digital evidence is going to be really key here because we see both of these defendants together through a lot of the digital evidence. And then with this particular defendant, we see that his phone connected or the victim's phone connected to his phone, the hotspot. There are also photos on his phone of him possibly wearing the victim's glasses after her murder, which is just absolutely unbelievable. And then we also had his friend who said he confessed to her. So I just think the evidence is overwhelming for this defendant, and I don't see his fate being any different than Louisma.
Mm-hmm. Right, Claudia, right. Perhaps my best educated guess is they probably had to go separately with trials because of adverse defenses with one another. And to your point, the evidence is still the same bad evidence against both of these guys. And I think you're exactly right. I think Mr. Van Patten's going to have the same fate as his buddy, Mr. Louisma. Claudia, stand by, kindly, please. We're going to hit a break. When we come back, we're going to see more of these surveillance photos. I mean, talk about clarity in photographs. Sometimes video is grainy. You can't make out an identification. These two can be very easily ID'd. Back to court. I want to take you now. We're in the Machete murder trial happening in Iowa. We've got an investigator on the stand going over some surveillance photos of the defendant, Mr. Dakota Van Patten. Let's watch.
1511, what do we see in this one?
Machete, Louisma, and Dakota Van Patten. This is where they're walking towards the restroom.
In 1512?
Machete, Louisma, and Dakota Van Patten go to the restroom.
1513?
You see Machete, Louisma, and Dakota Van Patten exiting the store.
And 1514?
Yeah, you see Machete, Louisma, and Dakota Van Patten exiting the store.
The main focal point of this photograph, or the person looking straight ahead here, is that Dakota Van Patten.
It is.
1515, what's this one?
It is another photo of Machete, Louisma, and Dakota Van Patten going towards the restroom.
And 15.16?
You can see the blue Honda Accord with the trunk open and a subject in the trunk.
Point that out for us, please.
This is the blue Honda Accord with the trunk open and a subject in the trunk.
Specifically from this photograph, nothing else. This photograph alone, are you able to determine who's in that trunk?
No.
15.17, can you tell us what this document is?
This is the receipt document of the transaction of the purchase made by Dakota Van Patten to Melody Hoffman.
So in the, I guess it would be the third column, does this column tell you what is purchased?
It does.
The column following that, does that tell you the price?
Yes.
Who is Dewan Rivers?
That was the clerk at Quickstar.
And the time and dates on the right side, does that indicate what time this purchase was made or different things happened during this transaction?
Correct.
Can you tell me what type of cigars the defendant and Louisima purchased?
They were Platinum Mile cigars.
Not the Swisher Sweets, right?
Correct.
Okay, and then a pack of cigarettes as well?
Yes.
Marlboro Special Blend?
Yes.
BL? Okay. And that purchase was made approximately what time?
At 3:21 a.m.
Does this exhibit show in what form payment was rendered?
Cash.
If you'll clear my screen, Your Honor. Those photos that we just viewed, 15.2 through 15.17, were those the photographs that you received from the contact or the person at Quickstar?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Quickstar, in some of the files that you received, were some of them labeled as Quickstar?
Quickstar and Quick Trip.
Okay, so were some of them labeled as Quickstar?
Yes.
And some were labeled as Quick Trip?
Correct.
Is that the same company?
It is.
And did they come from the same point of contact within the corporate office?
Yes.
Okay, so if we see Quickstar or we say Quick Trip, this is the same location?
Correct.
And it would be the same store?
Yes.
And the same company?
Yes.
Okay. I would also like to talk about the surveillance video that you received. Was the surveillance video that you received from Quickstar, did it come accompanied with its own program to play the videos?
It did.
And did it also come with several files that were associated with different camera angles and camera views within the Quick Trip store and the parking lot area?
Yes.
Was there, Your Honor, at this time I would like to begin to publish 15.1, please. And my screen's ready when you are.
Publishing now.
This DVD player that's at the bottom of this file that's dated Store and Go, is that the player that's used to play all of these different files?
It is.
Okay. And in clicking on that, does that player then populate several different angles from within the Quick Trip, Quickstar property?
It does.
I specifically want to focus on the camera angle that's titled Front Sidewalk. And I want to, I'm going to fast forward just a little bit, or play it forward just a little bit. Approximately 3:17 in the morning, does the blue Honda Accord pull into that parking lot?
It does.
And does it come to park?
Yes.
From this camera angle, are you able to see two occupants, Louisma and Van Patten, exit this vehicle
Yes.
and enter the store?
Yes.
I just still don't understand the motivation behind the murder of Melody Hoffman. Do you? Hit us up on social media. Let us know your thoughts. We'll hit a break. We'll see more surveillance footage of the defendant and his buddy, the buddy who's already convicted of the murder of Melody Hoffman.
My two best friends were just murdered.
Join me for a Court TV true crime series where we take you from the crime scene to the courtroom.
Donna Adelson hates every piece of grass that Dan Marcel ever walked on.
It's something that'll haunt all of us forever.
It always seemed like he was covering or deceiving.
This was a whole different level.
Victim to Verdict with Ted Rowlands, a Court TV original series. Season premieres September 27th.
Only on Court TV.
We, the jury, find Jose Soto Escalera as to count 1, guilty of first-degree murder as charged in the indictment. As to count 2, guilty of first-degree murder of an unborn child as charged in the indictment. So say we all, this 19th day of September, 2025.
Defendant Jose Soto Escalera will be back in court tomorrow for the start of the penalty phase of his criminal trial. So he was found guilty of murdering his mistress, Tanya Wise, and their unborn baby, Josiah. The state of Florida is seeking the death penalty against him. And so this means that defendant Soto Escalera may take the stand in an effort to save his own life. Again, the penalty phase kicks off tomorrow morning. We're going to be broadcasting it live. It's set to start at 8:45 a.m. Eastern Time. In the meantime, we're covering the murder trial of defendant Dakota Van Patten. We've got a case investigator on the stand going over surveillance footage. Let's go back in.
In watching that video, Investigator Pulson, and other videos that you were able to observe using that player, can you describe for us what your impression was of the interactions between the defendant and Kimberly Louisma?
It was very casual.
When you viewed photos and videos, could you, in any of the camera angles or videos that you viewed, observe either Louisma or Van Patten carrying weapons?
I did not.
At any point in the videos or photos, did you observe anyone with anything that appeared to be a firearm?
I did not.
Any knives?
No.
Did you observe anything in waistbands?
No.
Both of them wearing hooded sweatshirts?
Correct.
From what you were able to see in the videos that you saw, did it appear that there was anything heavier than a pack of cigars and cigarettes in their front pockets that would have been weighing down their sweatshirts?
I did not see it.
When those two arrived at the gas station, who led who into the store?
McKinley Louisma led Dakota Van Patten to the store.
And who was the leader, for lack of a better term, who was walking in front for the most part within the store?
McKinley Louisma.
And when they were at the counter, who did it appear to you was doing the interacting with the clerk?
McKinley Louisma.
And then the two of them went off screen back towards the restrooms. Who was in front?
McKinley Louisma.
Okay. And the first one out of the door?
McKinley Louisma.
So was McKinley Louisma ever walking behind Dakota Van Patten?
He was not.
Did McKinley Louisma in this video ever appear to physically restrain Dakota Van Patten?
He did not.
Did he ever physically grab him or pull him or shove him in any direction?
He did not.
And would you agree that this gas station is in a public place?
It is.
And that there are people coming in and out?
Yes.
During this video, are you able to show us where Dakota Van Patten signaled for help?
He never did that I saw.
Okay.
Could you turn your mic? Could you turn your mic on, please?
Thank you. Can you show us where Dakota Van Patten appeared to be distressed in this video?
I did not say anything like that.
Anything that indicated to you from the video that he was afraid?
No.
Were there in fact some parts of the video, even back by the restroom area, where he's smirking and interacting and having a good time with Mr. Louisma?
Yes.
Now, I want to go back to 15.18, I believe it is, to that video from the front sidewalk camera. Oh, can I publish that, please, Your Honor? I'm beginning the video at what's marked 3:24:47 a.m. on February 18th of 2024. The two individuals that just exited that door, is that, again, Louisma and Van Patten?
It is.
Louisma on the left?
Correct.
In fact, can you see his big bright decal on his shirt there too?
You can.
And Van Patten, the fellow on the right?
Yes.
Can you tell us before I push play what we should expect to see in this clip?
You're going to see Louisma going into the trunk of the vehicle, listening back in the trunk.
Does he stop at the car before he goes to the trunk?
Yes.
And can you tell us where he's retrieving a bag from?
The back seat.
Back driver's side?
Correct.
And then he goes to the trunk area?
Yes.
Are you able, though grainy, to tell us what color you believe that bag to be that he's putting in the trunk?
Great.
And I'm going to watch this or play this a couple of times from its original angle, and then we're going to do it again zoomed in. So I just want to let you know we're going to do this twice, at least.
Let's bring in our law enforcement analyst guest, Claudia King. Claudia, we keep talking here off camera as we're watching this trial progress about why in the world Melody Hoffman was killed. The motivation, what did it accomplish? I guess I'm scratching my head, and I know others are too, is her boyfriend, Mr. Louisma, was apparently seeing somebody else at the time. So, you know, to me, it's, so what if you're seeing someone else, what do you care? What goes, life moves on, move on. What's your opinion on the why behind this, Claudia?
You know, Julie, I have been thinking the same thing and asking the same questions, and with all of the cuts that were on her, I'm almost wondering, you know, are these two kind of sociopaths who just wanted to see what it was like to kill somebody? And they picked this girl because they knew, or at least McKinley knew, that she would go with them. She would be trusting and she would go along and it would be an easy target. I can't really think of any other reason either. And so unfortunately, I'm left with thinking that these are just two sociopaths that wanted to see what it was like to murder another human being.
I think that's great analysis right there you just gave us, Claudia. Let's take it a step further. You said something that made me think, if we're on the right track of sociopathy at play here, the way in which she was attacked, you know, multiple brutal ways seems to support that. This seems to be a case of overkill. Don't you think, Claudia?
Absolutely. And so was it overkill or was it torture? You know, which are kind of one and the same, but that would be a motivation, I think, not to any of us who are normal, but were they just trying all these different things and ways to see what felt right to them in that moment?
Right. I mean, it's really sick and disturbing, but these things happen. You have to wonder, was it for the thrill of it? Because we have evidence that she was beaten. We have evidence that she was strangled. We have evidence she was stabbed, and we have evidence that she was slashed. Any one of those methods could take a life, as we know. And here, all four were inflicted on this innocent young lady. Claudia King, we've got to leave it there for now. Our case continues into the next hour. Thank you so much for the insight, and thank you at home for being with us. When we come back, we'll hear from more of the key witnesses in the murder trial for Dakota Van Patten. We thank you for watching with us here on Court TV Live.
This is Court TV Live. I'm Kelly Craft in today for Ted Rowlands. Thank you so much for being with us today. We are in Iowa for the Machete murder plot trial. Dakota Van Patten is accused of conspiring with his friend, McKinley Louisma, to kidnap and kill Louisma's ex-girlfriend. Her name, Melody Hoffman. Now, prosecutors say the two men purchased gloves and 2 machetes from a local Walmart before kidnapping Hoffman, brutally beating her and strangling her. McKinley Louisma has already been convicted of the murder and was sentenced to life in prison last year. Before we get you back into court, here's Court TV field reporter Cody Thomas with more on the case against Dakota Van Patten.
Melody Hoffman suffered unspeakable atrocities.
In February of last year, the body of 20-year-old Melody Hoffman was found by a lake in Des Moines, Iowa.
She was beaten, she was bound, she was kidnapped, she was strangled, she was mutilated, and she was left for dead.
Dakota Van Patten is now the second man to go on trial for Hoffman's kidnapping and murder. Prosecutors say Van Patten conspired with Hoffman's former boyfriend, McKinley Louisma, and the pair used machetes to stab her. Authorities say data from Hoffman's iPhone and Apple Watch proves Van Patten and Louisma were with her when she was allegedly kidnapped from Morgan Creek Park in Des Moines until her body was dumped near Lily Pond Lake. Louisma was convicted of first-degree murder last year and sentenced to life in prison.
I know Melody would want me to forgive you, but I'm not sure that'll ever happen. And if it does, it's only for her.
In Van Patten's case, prosecutors say surveillance video allegedly shows him and Louisma buying gloves and machetes before the killing. A search of Van Patten's home turned up a towing rope they believe was the murder weapon and Melody Hoffman's glasses. Van Patten's attorney says the evidence does not prove he killed Melody.
The evidence will show Dakota was with Melody. But is his mere presence enough to reach this high burden of beyond a reasonable doubt? Can the state rule out the possibility that Dakota was just there and not partaking in what happened to her?
Van Patten has pleaded not guilty to charges of first-degree murder and kidnapping. A third man, Logan Kempton, also faces lesser charges in this case. His trial is set for later this year.
Let's get you back into court now. We are hearing from Patrol Sergeant Adam Pulson. He is testifying to some surveillance video of Van Patten and Louisma. This was the night of the murder.
As I scroll back and forth around the 3:25:40 time frame, are you able to see the item in McKinley's hand that he's putting in the trunk?
Yes.
And which hand is he using so we know where we're focusing?
His right hand.
Would you agree that the more you zoom in, the grainier it gets?
Yes. When Louisma was putting that bag in the trunk, can you show us where
Van Patten ran away from the car?
He did not.
Was he waving anybody down, asking for help?
He was not.
Did he walk away from the car at all?
He did not.
In fact, did he just get in the car?
He did.
Did anybody force him into that car?
No.
Nobody touched him?
Correct.
In fact, when Van Patten got in that car, was Louisma pretty distracted moving that bag?
Objection, calling for speculation.
Sustained.
When Van Patten's getting in the car, from what you can see in this video, does it appear that Louisma's even looking at him?
It is not where he is.
If you'll clear my screen, please, Judge. And you can have the lights back on, please. Thank you. Investigator Pulson, can you tell us generally what Apple health data is?
Yeah, so on an Apple iPhone, you have a health app that is an Apple product that is compatible with your Apple Watches to track things such as your heart rate, loud decibel readings, steps, things like that.
Is it also, so that the app's on the phone?
Correct.
But then it works with a watch?
Correct.
Okay, and those two things operate off that same application?
Yes.
Okay. This Apple Health data, is that something that was embedded in the phone of Melody Hoffman?
It was.
And so when I say embedded, she had the app on her phone?
Correct.
And then that app collected information?
Yes.
Okay. So when you were doing an examination of Melody Hoffman's phone, did you just review the report that came out, or did you first go in and do like a physical examination and look at this phone?
I also physically examined the phone.
Okay, so somehow you obtained the password, whether from mom or other ways, and were able to actually get in and navigate around inside of the phone.
Correct.
And when you were in the phone moving around, was that on February 18th?
It was.
So do you recall approximately what time?
Mid-morning, I don't remember exact time.
Okay, but relatively early.
Yes.
And when you were in the phone, did you navigate yourself to this Apple Health app?
Yes.
Was there any information within the Apple Health data from that app that drew your attention to it, or that you found to be relevant or pertinent to this investigation?
There was.
Can you tell us about that?
It recorded, observed data was recorded as a loud decibel event, so it showed an increase in noise, so that it logs that as a loud decibel event. And there's also a period of an increased heart rate.
Okay. I'm going to break that down a little bit. You say that it records a, quote, a decibel event or a loud decibel event?
Correct.
And the program within the phone then, when there's a loud noise, captures that information?
Yes.
Okay, and then stores it within the app?
Yes.
And when you're inside the app, you can see those different events that are recorded?
Correct.
Okay. And so you were able to personally see a decibel event in her phone?
Yes.
What, if anything else, you said that there was what was the other thing you said was captured?
Her heart rate.
And what information did you observe that was specifically related to the heart rate? Is that also called an event?
I would call it that, yeah.
Okay. But something that you saw related to the heart rate that drew your attention. Tell us about that, please.
Her heart rate went from what I would consider her normal resting heart rate to, you can see a spike in the graph to a very high elevated heart rate.
And when you say elevated or very elevated, was this just a little rise in heart rate or did it shoot way up there?
It was an extreme rise.
Extreme rise. When after you saw this extreme rise in the heart rate, what did the heart rate do after that?
It stopped.
And when it stopped, what did that indicate to you?
It indicated that Melody's physical heart rate could have stopped, or potentially the Apple Watch could have become disconnected from her body.
Now, the spike in the heart rate and the decibel reading, were you able to tell if those two things were happening at the same time?
They were.
Okay, so loud noise, heart rate spikes, and then nothing after that for the heart rate.
Correct.
What time approximately, if you can recall, did the heart rate spike and the decibel reading happen?
It was around the midnight hour on February 18th, 2024.
And when you say around the midnight hour, does that mean, what does that mean? Is that like midnight or it was after midnight, but in the, what does that mean?
It was after midnight, but close to the time of the hour, I would say.
Okay. Now, you've told us in your testimony that when the phone download happens, that a type of report is generated, correct?
Correct.
And that the information that's pulled from the phone pulls from all places in the phone and collects in that report, right?
Correct.
And so in that report, did the report capture those two events that you physically saw within the phone?
It did not.
Okay, why?
At the time, Melody's phone was using a beta version or a test version of Apple's operating system. So because it was a test version, it was not compatible with our download software.
Okay, so when did you realize approximately that the Apple health data wasn't captured into the report?
It was a few days into the investigation when we went to follow up and realized it was not there.
Okay, and so when you realized it wasn't there, what happened next?
We tried to go back into the phone to obtain the data, and the phone at that time was not operable.
Okay, tell me what your definition of not operable is.
It would not even power on. No matter whether we charged it, we could not power it on or get into the phone at all.
So at the point in time that you went back in to try and recover what you realized was missing, you couldn't get back in there?
Correct.
Now, if you were to describe the condition of Melody Hoffman's phone when you were handling it, looking at it, looking in it, can you describe for us what the condition of the phone was?
It was heavily damaged. Both the front and back glass of the phone were extremely cracked and falling apart.
Was there a case on this phone?
There was.
And what kind of case was this?
It was a clear case.
Okay. How did, or do you know how that case came to be on that phone?
It was placed on it by Melody's mother.
Okay. I would like the court's permission to approach this witness.
You may.
Investigator Pulson, I want to hand you what's been previously marked as State's Exhibit 16.6. Do you recognize this?
I do.
Can you tell us briefly what it is?
It is Melody Hoffman's cell phone.
And is that the phone that you received and personally got into and looked at on February 18th of 2024?
It is.
May I see that? May I have is 16.6 admitted?
It is.
Okay. May I have permission to publish that on the Elmo, Your Honor?
Well, hold on. 16.6 is identified as a phone photo.
It's incorrect. It's the actual phone.
It's the actual phone.
Yes, sir.
And it was admitted.
Thank you. May I publish?
You may.
Investigator Paulson, would you agree that this is the front of that iPhone Pro Max?
Yes.
And from this view of the phone, are you able to see several cracked areas on the phone?
Yes.
Okay. On the back of the phone, would you agree that this is...
Okay, well, that pretty much wraps up the testimony from this week.